Oh my goodness gracious me. All right. Yeah. It's Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is. We're here today on this beautiful Thursday morning. So wonderful to see so many this amazing, wonderful, beautiful people here again, as always. Best ding dong dang dang damn fans in the world. That's you guys, and you know it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today, and we are. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the show on this beautiful Thursday morning. Oh, my goodness gracious me. It's almost the weekend. We're right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason D was first. He gets the first happy dance of the day. All right. Yes, thank you. And let's see who else is here. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Jonick was number 2. What you going to do when Greg Jonick comes to get you? When Hulkamania runs wild on you. I don't know why. No, I do know why, because I did Hulk Hogan's voice. One of my favorite Hulk Hogan bits, it was a very short bit. It didn't really work because it wasn't very popular, but I liked it, was there was a time when Hulk Hogan was fired from WWE, but eventually him and Vince made a deal and for Hogan to come back. But the way they brought him back was they brought him back as a different character because everyone knew it was very public that Hulk Hogan was fired. So he came back as a luchador, like with a mask on. But he wasn't even trying to hide the fact that he was Hulk Hogan. That was part of the gag, was that he wasn't supposed to be Hulk Hogan. And at one point, he was being interviewed, and they're like, "We think that you're Hulk Hogan. What do you have to say to that accusation?" He goes, "Listen, brother, I'm not Hulk Hogan, dude." So, yeah, he's so Hulk Hogan. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. My tiny Chihuahua life is here. Great to see you as always. Welcome back to the show. Jason D. Cliff Higgs saying, "G'day, I'll be back when Hez starts off to watch some live plane spotting on a wet Sydney airport on YouTube." Oh, man. Watching planes land on a slick airport it could be scary. In fact, I'll never forget this. When I lived in Chicago, because I lived right down the street from Midway Airport. I mean, everyone knows O'Hare because that's the big one, but I lived by Midway Airport. And there was one day where there was so much snow and so much ice that one of the planes landing in Midway hit the runway, and there was so much ice on the runway that it slid all the way across the runway, through the wall, into the street. And after it happened, I was on the road driving in that snowstorm when that happened, and I drove past it. I saw, I mean, just try to picture this in your mind. You're driving down the street, and in the middle of the street that you're driving down is a freaking Boeing 747 or whatever the heck it was, just right there in the middle of the street. It was insane. I don't remember if anyone, obviously people got hurt, but I don't remember if anyone passed in that. I mean, it was intense. It was crazy, but I remember, I'll never forget just seeing a freaking jumbo jet in the middle of the road. I'm like, what the hell is that? And obviously, you could tell it came out of the airport through the wall, so that was just nuts. Anyway, Doc Lanou, what's up? I'm first because I'm second to none. Oh, I like that. P. Barnes the second, of course, is here. I'm watching you all. Jason Gutterman. I'm watching you all to see who isn't behaving themselves. Too late to help, Jason D. Oh, yes, indeed. Tiny Chihuahua Life, P. Barnes, Jason D, Greg Jonick, Doc Lanou. Let's see who else is. Oh, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Highway Star. Yeah. Good morning. Great to see you as always, brother. Yes. Who else we got in the house? This is a wonderful morning. Griffey has, I like your stream, but I like watching space rockets launch more. Sorry, I'll not be watching your stream tonight. Oh, well, hey, there's no law that says you have to watch, especially if it is something, newsworthy or different. And, if you're in Australia, I mean, I don't know anything about the Australian space program. It's probably more interesting to watch just to see if a tin can with a couple of emu beaks and whatever it's made out of can actually launch into. I'm teasing. We always make fun of it. We love our Australian. We love our Aussie fans, especially Griffey. He give me Joey. Oh, mate. Hello. All right. Shrimp on the barbie. All that. Foster's Australian for beer if you live in America. You live in Australia, you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. All right. Let me ask you something. I know in the United States it's divided, like almost literally by the Mason-Dixon line. North is Pepsi, South is Coke. But what do you guys prefer out there, Coke or Pepsi? Let's see. P. Barnes, Highway Star, Griffey. Ladies and gentlemen, JC Landry is here. What's up, JC? Great to see you. See you on Monday morning. Absolutely, buddy. Always great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. David E. Persons. I enjoy telling dad jokes. They're just how I roll. Wait a minute. I don't have to do that because I actually have it here. Where is it? Dang it. We're live, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I like telling dad jokes because that's just how I roll. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Let's see. We got P. Barnes. JC Landry, Griffey, Terry Barnes is here. Good morning. God bless. God bless you, sir. And we've got $2 from Donna Ray. Good morning, everyone. Working while lurking. We love our worker lurkers. Here's your happy dance. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Also, that reminds me, I was talking to Ray yesterday, and we were talking about some of the changes that have happened to the show since I've moved up here. And almost everything that changed was done out of necessity because, again, most of you, especially, you guys that are here every day already know, but just a reminder for everyone that, literally last minute, I had to change all of my plans for the move because when I went to pick up the rental car and I gave them my debit card, they said, oh, well, if you use a debit card, there's automatically an additional $500 charge right off the top. And that would have been my gas money. So it wouldn't have done me any good to get the rental car and then not have gas to drive it. So I had to change all my plans last minute. I had to just, because I had already put a down payment on this place. So I wasn't going to lose the place. I finally, after a year and a half, was able to come back home and be close to my kids. And that was priority above everything else. So I just took whatever I could fit in a bag, hopped on a plane and came out here so that I wouldn't lose this place. So that's all good. But all of my props, all of my equipment, and most importantly, when it comes to the point I'm talking about right now is I had a big box that I've had forever of all of the prizes that I would give away in my monthly giveaways every month. And that box and everything in it is still in Florida. In fact, I still owe Blackheart Knight a prize and a couple other people who the stuff I was going to give them is there. But when Ray and I were talking about that, she was like, well, one of the things you used to give away was the baby voodoo dolls, right? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, and you still have dancing cop cards there, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do still have some dancing cop cards. Look at him go. Boom, 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 boom. So anyway, she says, well, hey, why don't you start doing the monthly giveaways again? And I'm like, well, because all my prizes are there. And she said, she reminded me that she has a full set of all the baby voodoos. And if I want to bring the monthly giveaway back, that if somebody wins and they win a baby voodoo doll, she'll send one of theirs. And then when I eventually do get back to Florida, get my stuff back, I could just reimburse her with the ones that I already have. And I thought, hey, you know what? Why not? So that being said, Donna Ray, that donation and any donation to the channel in any amount automatically is going to get your name added to. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have decided that we are going to do a June giveaway. And so as of now, Donna Ray, your name is added to the list, and anyone who makes any donation for any amount automatically gets their name added. But you don't have to donate to get your name added. All you have to do is be one of the first 5 people. But I don't have to gavel. I can't bang the gavel. So I'll literally just knock on the desk. When I knock on the desk, the first 5 people after I knock on the desk, P. Barnes, if you're listening, I know you're good at keeping track of this. If you could help me out since Ray isn't here today. The first 5 people to type the phrase, "We love Ray," after I bang the desk, will get your names entered into this month's giveaway. Here we go. Ready? All right. I knocked the first 5 people to type, "We love Ray" or "We love Ray Ray." We'll get their names added to the list with Donna Ray for this month's giveaway, as we decided to bring the monthly giveaways back for the month of June. And we'll be giving away baby voodoos. We'll be giving away dancing cop cards and potentially a copy of my book as well, because why not? That always seems to work. The thing with the baby voodoos, some people like them, some people don't. So we'll put that as an option. You could choose to get one of those, or you could choose a dancing cop card. Whatever, we'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, we decided to bring them back. So there you go. And thank you once again for the donation. P. Barnes, Tiny Chihuahua, Doc Lanu, Highway Star, Nightman's wife is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nightman's wife. Great to see you. King Stu 2000's in the house. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, too. Let's see. Pete Barnes, Highway Star. Edward Kettler, what's up? Good morning to everyone in the chat. Good morning to you, too, sir. Yes. Rube Maximilian is here. Cheers to my friend Pete Barnes from across the pond. Indeed, I watch it as soon as it's done. Timing is everything. Absolutely, positively. Rube Maximilian, Jason Gutterman. No, Rube Maximilian is our resident janitor, and he always comes in after the show and clean up. Since I moved, he's been taking really good care of the place. He doesn't have as much to do without all my props and stuff here, but they do a good job anyway. Let's see, Pete Barnes, Terry Barnes. Jason D. Cliff Hickson, what's up? Okay, I'm back. Where's the bearded guy? Woohoo! Let's see, Jason D. P. Barnes, Mr. Thomas, what's up? Good morning, Hezokuai. Can we be honest here and just agree that Cracker Barrel is just a Waffle House with a gift shop? It depends on who you ask. Some people would say that that's an insult to Waffle House, but I don't know. My problem is, I've only eaten at Waffle House one time, and I was disappointed because I walked in the door growing up on the International House of Pancakes thinking, like the International House of Pancakes, there's like 14 billion different combinations of types of pancakes you could get in the House of Pancakes. So I was thinking, oh, this is going to be great. They're going to have regular waffles. They're going to have Belgian waffles. They're going to have waffles with ice cream. They're going to have waffles with blueberries. And then I get there and they have one type of waffle on the list, and that's it. And I was like, what kind of Waffle House doesn't even have anything but one type of waffles? So, but that was the one time I'd have ever been there. So I really don't know anything about their menu. So I should try them for real sometime. Let's see. Doc Lanou, P. Barnes, Mr. Thomas. What's up, Doc? Cliff Hickson. Who else we got? Neyman's wife. Hez, good morning. Good morning to you. Chef M80's here. What's up, Chef? Great to see you again. Let's see. Josiah Stalbert is here. What's up? Good morning, Hez in chat. Let's see. Mr. America. Yes, Mr. Thomas knows exactly what I'm talking about. That was the character that Hulk Hogan played that wasn't supposed to be Hulk Hogan, Mr. America. Yes. Chuck is here. What's up, Chuck? Great to see you. Let's see. Cliff Hickson, P. Barnes, Chef M80. Let's see. Carl's Last Order of the Squirrel. What's up? Good morning, people. Good morning to you. Does the rocket you guys were talking about, is that rocket traveling? Jason D says we prefer Coke in Australia. All right, that'll work. Nyman's wife says no, Diet Sunkissed. I love it. Let's see. Donna Ray. All right. Cliff Hickson, me personally, Pepsi Max for the last 30 years is my preferred soft drink. Wow. Okay. That'll work. Let's see. Carl, Jason D, P. Barnes, Chuck. The Reverend Jared Reed. What's up? Great to see you again. As always. Let's see. Woohoo. Yeah. Happy dance. Let's see. Oh, look at this. We got the Relove Ray people. We got Doc Lanou. We got Chuck. We got Dib Dib in the house. What's up? Chef M80, Reverend Jared Reed. This is awesome. Highway Star. Yes. Carl's Order of the Squirrels. Edward. David Pearsons. Yes. Highway Star. JC Landry. This is awesome. Tiny says she can help with the baby voodoos too. Yep. She also has a lot. You know what? Also, that's another thing that Ray and I noticed yesterday when we were discussing it is that the pink ones, they're not selling those anymore. I don't know if they're done forever, but as of right now, you can't order them on Amazon. You can't get the pink ones anymore. And I know that Ray's got a pink one, I got a pink one, and Tiny has a pink one. So you never know. If you win this month's giveaway and you choose a pink baby voodoo doll, you might be getting a rare item at this point. I don't know. Let's see. Rooster Cogburn, Edward Kettler. Dino's here, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? Ape Shaped Carbon is here. Great to see you. Oh, my goodness. This is awesome. Look at this. And then, we got $5 for Doc Lanou. Tonight's live stream at 6:30 p.m. with the link. Awesome. Thank you so much, buddy. Here's your happy dance. All right. Thank you. So that gives you 2 entries into the monthly giveaway for the month of June. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. I thought it was Hulk Machine that wasn't supposed to be Hulk Hogan. Well, it's not the first time they tried to do that. Let's see. Highway Star, Mountain Dew, Mole in a Hole, Bush. He's like, I just like drinking beer. Why not? Rod Klotzer, hey, Hezray Mods in chat from the middle of the burnt Mojave Desert. I love it, I love it, I love it. Welcome to the show. And let's see, what is this? What the heck are you talking about? You have a big one, Boyd. Did I come at the wrong time? Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, my goodness. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Great to see you on this beautiful Thursday morning. And what a wonderful Thursday it is. Also, I don't know if people remember, I did decide a while ago that I wanted to bring the tasings back, but I don't have the voice modulator. So just to show you what a tasing would look like now, if you wanted one, because he deserves it, dagnabbit. But without the sound effect of the voice, this is what you would get. So there you go. I won a pink one a while back. Awesome. That's great. See? Oh, and also, speaking of the giveaways, that's another thing too. I know, obviously, the grand prize winner was Blackheart Night, so I know I got that set up for when I go back. But again, since all the prizes I was sending out are still in Florida, if anyone that's a past winner never got your prize yet, obviously, because the stuff's in Florida, let me know. Remind me, send me an email. I got this, but just to check and make sure, if you're still waiting on a prize, let me know. It's obviously so many things that happen that are out of my control for the moment. So trying to keep up and do my best. Greg Napin is oh, look at this. We got an 18-month membership milestone from Tina. Yeah, I love the tasing. Awesome. Here's your happy dance. All right, thank you. Greg Napin is here. Obviously, we need to add more to the voice modulator fund. Yes. Bring back News Now Voodoo. Yes. Exactamundo. DMA has court today. Yes, that is a fact. Frauditor Troll is going to be covering it. It's I think it's things at 11, but I don't know if that's what that is, if it's a different time zone because they're over there. But Troll is going to be covering it live. Parson 1122. I never got the life-size voodoo. Life-size. Hey, you never want a life-size voodoo doll. Hey, man, don't make me come back there. You kids behave. It's the day of reckoning for DMA, right? It's not planned, but I have an appointment on Tuesday. Oh, well, hopefully everything will go well with that. Yes, because if you guys remember, originally I canceled the tasings because of the damage that the shake-in was doing to the voodoo doll. But I realized something, because my kids like to play with them when they're here, and I realized something that I never thought of, because kids can tear and break anything. When they started messing with them, I realized that it's the outfit. It's the shirt that was a gift from Tiny Chihuahua and Highway Star. That it's kind of like reinforcing him, and it makes him a little more solid. And actually, like, I can do it, and he's okay. It's like, oh, wait a minute, yeah, that's like, it's like a shield of protection. I know it wouldn't seem like that, but since he's made out of cloth, that extra layer of cloth seems to make all the difference in the world. And I can still stab him in the face because he's a frauditor. And sometimes when I watch these videos, I get so mad at these frauditors. Well, why are you torturing me? Shut up. Anyway, ow. So that all being said, where are we? Okay. Yeah, that's going to be fascinating to see what's going to happen with the whole DMA situation. Oh, my goodness gracious me. But in the meantime, we've got so much stuff going on here. Let's see. What was I going to? And also, of course, just a reminder for everyone, as you know. So the tasing is coming back. Yes. And I said before that I wanted to bring the tasing back, but I haven't really been doing it much because, again, without the voice, I don't. But that's why I kind of wanted to do it for you guys and see if you guys still like it without the voice. I mean, obviously, once I get the voice back, it's going to be great. But I always just felt like I was, like I said, I decided a while ago to bring it back, but I wasn't sure if anyone would like it without the voice. So, hey, Florida Jim's here. Good morning from the Florida Breakfast Rashers Club. Once again, let's show you guys again what it looks like without me being able to do the voice to see if you guys are like, I still think it's cool. Let's see. What's funny though is I'm doing what I always do when I tase him with my voice, except with the machine on. So you get to hear behind the scenes, I guess, of what it sounds like when I do it. If he gets off, it's going to be bad, right? Well, again, he was found guilty. He's not appealing that. That's a done deal. It's the sentence that he's appealing. He wants the sentence to be, I guess, lesser punishment, of course, right? Why would you appeal a sentence to make it worse? I think I saw somebody do that once, a soft set or something, but I don't remember. Anyway, my eyes this morning. Oh, yeah, I was about to tell the story. Obviously, you guys have noticed at this point that Ray isn't here this morning. And once again, and as always, with everything that's been going on with her, and if you really think about it, I mean, she literally just had major surgery not that long ago, a couple weeks. So, she needs to rest. And when she needs to rest, like I always say, her place is here and she's welcome anytime, whenever. If she can't make it, hey, God bless her. Hopefully she's getting her rest and she's healing up and feeling better. So it's all good. Last I heard, she was doing well, so it's not like she was not here because some major disaster or anything. It's just she needs to rest. She needs to heal up. So that's good. That's good for her. Let her get her health is always number one. Okay. So that all being said, let's go ahead and start the show. How stupid is he? His sentence can still get worse. He had been doing the same crap that got him convicted. That's one of the things too that obviously it's going to be interesting to see today when he does go to appeal the conviction or the sentence, if the judge is going to mention that, if she's going to take into consideration, well, okay, so you're still out there doing what? Wait a minute. The Reverend Jared Reed says, so that means Taser Thursday is back. That's right. But yes, exactly. It's like when you're out there doing what got you in trouble in the first place, and part of the sentence, again, since he's on appeal for the sentencing, technically he didn't have to follow it yet. It'll be after today that he'll have to follow it if it's held up, that he can't fraud it anymore. So it's like, well, you're still out there frauding, and you like, what the hell, dude? Oh, that DMA, he's something else. And did you guys see that City Hall meeting, the most recent one with him and Regan, where people were at the meeting talking about like these two again, and then those two come up like again and just basically swore at the members of the town hall council. Okay. Whoa, JC, why do you want to be hid? We love you. Why would we hide you? Wait. Do you want to be hid, or are you asking if it's possible just in general? Like, because I do know, and this is true, I've seen it happen a million times. People have to say, well, if you misbehave, we'll be happy to. But no, I mean, I have seen situations where, because sometimes when the chat moves, to hide someone or to block someone, you have to click on the little, like the three dots next to their name, and then that brings up a menu, and then you have to choose what you want to do on that menu. Sometimes while you're in that menu screen, the chat will move because somebody says something, and you'll end up clicking on the wrong name. And so sometimes people get blocked by accident or timed out by accident. But if something like that happens, let us know. Because, yeah, I don't see any reason why anyone would ever block you. You're one of our old school fans. You've always been nothing but good to me. Let's see. Sir Stewie Griffin, keeper of the Holy Hand Grenade, are you suggesting that coconuts migrate? Hey, whatever it takes, man. Coconut shells are sound like horse hooves. Oh my goodness. Also, I can't wait till fall, even though it's not even summer yet, because word on the street is that these guys, the experts are predicting that they're going to have the biggest turnaround in the positive this next season with all the changes they made in the off season. So hopefully the Bears will do well this year. That has nothing to do with nothing. I just happened to read that article earlier, and so it's in my head. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to start the day off with a lucid dream video about the Queen of Canada. Oh no, these Moors, man, and these soft sits, they're melting my brain every time. And they never disappoint. If you want to hear stupidity spotted out on a whole nother level of stupid, the Moors and the soft sits are definitely the place you want to be. Let's check this video out, guys.
Welcome back to my corner of the internet, guys. I am the Lucid Dream, and on this one, we are going to take a look at a video by Van Balian. Now, he is one of my favorite creators, and most recently has been assaulted with frivolous copyright strikes by a Canadian sovereign citizen named Queenie. Now, if you do not know who Queenie is, she's something. I do recommend looking her up on YouTube because that's a journey. But the video was most recently restored, and in the spirit of Schrodinger's cat, he sent out the invitation for other creators to mirror the video, which is exactly what we are going to get here. I hope you enjoy. First and foremost, thank you to all of my channel members and subscribers. Without you, I would not be here. So as always, every day, thank you. Let's go ahead and get into it.
This is Queenie. You know Queenie of Canadian convoy freedom fighting fame Queenie? No? Me neither. Anyway, Queenie claims to be sovereign and indigenous and lives under common law. She also loves screaming incoherently and fighting with the RCMP. So let's see how well that works out for her today.
Pop straight here. Five O's. Don't stop horses. Don't do it. Don't tell me what to do, you clown. I gotta find myself again. Fucking clown. You see that?
I did, but I also saw that disability parking pass hanging from your rearview mirror, which is strange coming from someone who later on in the video claims to be sovereign and indigenous.
Oh, he's pulling me over.
Now, would you look at that? It's almost as if the thing you set out to achieve worked. Well done. Now make things even worse for yourself by jumping out of your car and then running around on a busy street like a crazy person.
Let's go. You're a clown? You want to fucking?
Not stopping for.
You're not stopping me for nothing.
Okay, you're going to be under arrest.
Stay away from me.
In a second.
Stay away
You're
from
gonna
me.
be
I
under
don't
arrest
trust
for
you.
obstruction, okay?
Bring a lady if you're.
Wait a minute. Now, real quick, I have to say this. To be fair, technically, what she said was actually correct. He's not pulling her over for nothing. He's pulling her over for something. So she's right. He's not pulling her over for nothing. I just wanted to point that out. Actually, what's interesting about this, too, is that it's Lucid Dream covering a Van Balian video. And I was going to show a Van Balian video today. So after this one, I think we'll follow it up with the other one since we're on the Van Balian train anyway. We love Van Balian. We love Lucid Dream. I love you guys. Ding dong, dang attack, nabbit. Hey, said a ding dong, dang attack, nabbit. Hey, we got the show. Don't you know? It's great to have fun making fun of sovereign citizens because they're dumb. Oh, my goodness gracious me.
You're gonna fucking arrest me. You don't have touch. Yes, it does. I'm indigenous and you don't. Stay away from me. Fucking stay away from me.
Is that the problem? Or are you going to?
I guess so. I guess so. I don't have to do nothing. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. You have no rights over me. I live by common law. I'm sovereign.
Yeah, well, good luck with that defense. And of course, we have the obligatory double negatives that we've come to expect from these so-called sovereigns.
Okay. Are you going to give me your driver's license, registration, insurance?
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. You need to get somebody. No, you need to get somebody to arrest me that's female. You touch me, and you're in trouble.
Sorry, Queenie, but that's just not how that works. You don't get to pick and choose the gender of the cop who arrests you. Anyway, I thought you couldn't be arrested because you're sovereign.
You assaulted me now and touched me, you're in trouble. Yeah, and am I going anywhere? Leave me alone and wait. No, you don't touch me. You don't touch me. I am not. You don't touch me. Don't get out of my car. He pushed me. He pushed me. He pushed me.
He's under arrest.
He cannot go in my vehicle. Get a female. Get a female.
You're under arrest.
Get a female. Get a.
And that, guys, is unfortunately where the video ended, with Queenie, spelled Queenie for some reason, demanding a female officer. Not sure who this Queenie person is, but I'm guessing she was quite big during the Freedom Convoy protests back in 2022. I think I heard the officer mention an expired tag as the reason for the stop, which lines up perfectly well with her claims of sovereignty, but I couldn't tell for sure over Queenie's loud voice. But she knew exactly what she was doing here. Of course, if I find out any more information about this incident, I will drop the details in the description. Shout out to John for sending this video to me and Fake Triad for posting this to their Twitter. Sorry, I mean X. I still cannot get used to calling it just X. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave me a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you also to my channel members and patrons for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. Right, take care all, and I will catch up with you in the next video.
Get a female.
So yes, this woman has declared herself the Queen of Canada. I do feel like most of my Canadian friends would be like, no, we don't claim her. But it looks like she took a page out of Glenn Serio's book, because if you go to her page, under her description box, there is a notation that says absolutely no cutting, re-steaming, or copying any of my videos without prior agreement in writing. If I should see anything of mine, I will be reporting for copy, and then it cuts off. But Glenn Serial has something similar on his description box. So it makes me think not only do they not understand copyright law and fair use, they don't understand the terms of service that they agreed to when they signed up to YouTube. Because specifically, in the YouTube service agreement is the license to other creators that you grant when you post a video. So definitely some learning opportunities here, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see, and I will catch you on the next one.
All right. Round of applause for the Lucid Dream. All right, great stuff. And to Van Balian, which, of course, like I said, I was going to show a Van Balian video anyway. And since that was Lucid Dream showing a Van Balian video, we're going to follow up that video with the Van Balian video I was going to show anyway. So let's go ahead and keep the sovereign citizen stupidity rolling. But before we do, I just want to make a comment about what we just saw. That entire interaction, like when we talk about play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right? Like you get pulled over for a fake tag or expired tag or whatever it was. The cop comes up, you give him your ID, you do the thing, you read whatever it is. She stops and immediately jumps out of the car and starts going at the guy like a lunatic. And it's like, how did you think that interaction was going to end up? What is it called? FAFO? GTFO or FAFO? That's what I like to say when the frauditors are trespassing. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, let's keep this ball rolling, and then back onto the Van Balian train with a video called "Deluded Sovereign Finds Out the Hard Way That U.S. Law Doesn't Apply in the UK." And I wanted to play this one specifically because this is one of the things that Ray and I were talking about yesterday. Also, JC Landry, I don't know if it's something on your end. We see you. We see your comments. You're all good, hon. We love you, and we see you. You're good. I think she was anyway. Yeah. So yesterday, Ray and I were talking about how crazy it is when people in other countries try to use U.S. law as an excuse for doing what they do because they see too many Sovset videos or whatever. Who knows? People are just dumb. And then right after that, I saw Van Balian posted an example of exactly that. So we're going to go ahead and show that right now. Here we go. Check it out, guys. All right.
Give me probable cause, and then you haven't given me probable cause based on what I'm saying. You're gonna arrest me, and then my house burns down because my cooker's on. You need to give me
driving with no insurance and no otherwise in accordance with the license.
You're joking.
Okay?
Welcome back to the Van Balian channel, guys. Today we head to Nottinghamshire in the UK for a video where a sovereign citizen gets pulled over while riding an e-bike. The cop says he needs a license and insurance to ride it on a public road. He claims the bike doesn't meet that requirement, but he makes things 10 times worse for himself by going into the US soft sit script, which of course leads to a pair of handcuffs. Right, let's get into the video.
Right, I'm saying no mister, but I'm a family of. Okay.
Right. So
and then what's your
My name's PC Andrews.
Can I get your what's the name, your number, please?
Yeah, 3405.
3405 for the record. I've been stopped on what's the name road?
Gregory Boulevard.
Gregory Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My white card.
Okay. So what the police officer is saying to me today is that I'm traveling on a bicycle. He's saying it's not a bicycle, even though it has to be assisted. It does 15.5 miles an hour. It's not under 250 watts. And then yet still, he's saying that I need a license not to drive. He's saying that I must be driving. I need a license.
Yes, a mechanically propelled vehicle.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Well, the law that you were in favour of just a minute ago begs to differ. And that law says unless your bike meets all the electrically assisted pedal cycles requirements, it can be classed as a motorcycle or moped. Therefore, you need a licence and insurance, which you are required to produce. But I think you already know your bike doesn't meet all the requirements because you immediately started with the soft sit script.
What I'm saying is, I'm not driving.
You are. You're driving a mechanically propelled vehicle on the road. Driving.
No, but you could have given me the definition.
I don't need to give you the definition.
You need to give me the definition because right now you're saying that I'm driving. Are you under your oath today?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay. Can you read your oath of office today? Why not? Because I have a demand to ask for the oath, sir.
You don't have a right.
With all respect, I do have a right to ask for the oath.
So.
Yeah, sorry to be the one to break this to you, but there is absolutely no requirement under UK law for a police officer to recite his oath or attestation at any time, let alone during an investigation. Just like there is no special rule or law that says a police officer is required to discuss word definitions on the side of the road. The fact that you believe all this to be the case is both a bit weird and hilarious at the same time.
Can you please tell me your name, date of birth, address?
There's no need for me to tell you anything because I'm not doing anything wrong.
Okay. I'm investigating the offence of driving with no insurance or licence.
But I'm not driving, sir.
I therefore require your name, date of birth, address.
That's the only requirement. It's not a requirement is me giving permission.
Okay. Is there anything that I can say or do that will make you provide me with your name, date of birth, and address?
But for what? Yeah. One thing you have to do, give me probable cause, and then you haven't given me probable cause based on what I'm saying. It doesn't matter about permission, it's the law, mate.
It's the law, mate, says the guy who wouldn't know the law if it came up and kicked him in the backside. Also, shout out to this cop for calling this guy out for using the term probable cause, a US term not technically used here in the UK. We call it reasonable grounds for suspicion. And even that isn't needed in this case, as police have the power to stop any vehicle under Section 163 of the Road Traffic Act 1988.
Okay. Or I wouldn't be riding a bike.
If you're not able to provide me with your name, date of birth, address now, then you're going to be arrested.
Why am I going to be arrested?
Confirm your identity. I'm investigating some offences. And if you don't provide me with those details, I'm not able to investigate those offences at the roadside. So under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, I therefore have a necessity criteria to arrest you.
You don't have no reason to arrest me. I'm not talking to you in a different way. I'm not harming you.
No,
the bike, I'm asking you a question towards what you're saying to me that I'm driving when I'm not driving. I'm on a bike. I'm just traveling. I'm on a push bike, which is assisted. It's an assisted push bike.
Well, if your bike complies with every EAPC requirement listed here, then you could have a case. If not, then it's classed as a motorcycle or moped, end of, and needs to be registered, taxed and insured, and you need a license and a crash helmet. Either way, the side of the road is definitely not the place to argue this, nor is using the US soft sit script in the UK for obvious reasons.
Is there
That's what it is.
Because we keep going around in circles.
I know, but we can keep going in a circle, but you have to tell me something.
Here and now,
yeah.
You need to provide me with your name, date of birth, and address.
No, but why should I be? I'm not doing anything wrong, mate.
I'm investigating.
And I'm not obliged. Am I obliged to do that?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
No, I'm not obliged.
Under the law.
It's not a law. It's a statute, and it's an act, sir. It's an act. It's an act and a statute.
Act passed by Parliament, which becomes a law.
It's not a law. It's not common law, mate.
Common law is a body of unwritten laws based on legal precedents established by the courts. Common law influences the decision-making process in unusual cases where the outcome cannot be determined based on existing statutes or written rules of law. An Act of Parliament, also called a statute, is a law made by the UK Parliament. Why are we still having this conversation?
Anything I can reasonably say or do here and now for you to provide me with your date of birth, name and address.
Talk to me another time. I've got the food on at home. I've got to get home because if I don't get on the cookers on, my house will burn down while I'm in.
Right. So not only is this guy stupid enough to pull the US soft sit script in the UK, he's stupid enough to use the old "my house will burn down if you arrest me" ruse. Or maybe he is telling the truth and he really did leave his house unattended with the cooker on full blast. If so, then I have no words to describe how dangerous this guy is to not only himself, but other innocent lives around him.
I can't let you go in here and now because I don't know who you are.
So you're detaining me now?
I am, yes.
So I'm under arrest?
Well, not currently, but you will be if I can't establish your name.
So you read my rights?
I haven't yet, no.
So what are you going to read my rights for?
Huh?
What are you going to read my rights for?
I'm not going to read your rights at the moment.
But you need to read my rights. So I might have been detained there.
Yeah. Obviously, we want you to go about your business and get
well, that's what I want to do, and there's no reason we stop him.
But obviously, my colleague just saying, sir, you just need to provide your details, and then you'll be able to go on your way once you confirm that. Okay, you just need to investigate.
I told you, Brian.
On the road, on the motor vehicle.
I've told you.
What's your surname?
Listen, Brian.
Okay.
On the birth certificate. There's no need for me to give you a date of birth because I'm not doing anything wrong.
Your identity.
You don't, because you need probable cause. You haven't got any probable cause. The cause that you're saying is that it's a propelled vehicle. That's a propelled vehicle. This is the bike. This is push assisted. 15.5 miles an hour, 250 watts. That's it. I don't need a license to do that because I'm not driving in commerce. If you say one talk about commerce as in needing a license, you have to, like a vehicle. A vehicle is what you do in a license, like a police car, a taxi, a bus. You're driving on the road on public property, by the way.
Yep.
And that's why you need a license for permission from the public to do your works on the road.
Okay, you need a license to drive any mechanical
Yeah, I'm not driving, sir. I'm just traveling on my bike. It's a bike, and it's foot assisted. It's a scooter.
Yeah, just the fact that this guy can't decide whether it's a bike or a scooter that jumps between being pedal and push assisted, depending on the argument he's trying to make. Plus, the fact that by his logic, you don't need a license unless you're operating in commerce, which makes zero sense, should tell you everything you need to know about this guy.
Okay, you need a license to drive any mechanical.
Yeah, I'm not driving, sir. I'm just traveling on my bike. It's a bike, and it's foot assisted.
Right.
It's a scooter.
What I'm saying to you is, unless you can provide me with your name, date of birth, and address.
Unless you are you going to arrest me and then my house burns down because my cooker's on?
Okay, well, that's not my fault.
Well, it will be. It will be. It will be because there's going to be a lot of suing going on.
My house will burn down if you arrest me has got to be one of the lamest excuses to get out of being arrested I've ever heard. Unless, of course, he really was stupid enough to leave the cooker on unattended while he went out to do the weekly shop. And if that is the case, then he's a lot more dangerous than I originally thought.
Okay, I've been very reasonable asking for your details.
Am I not being reasonable with you?
You're being very reasonable.
Okay, so I'm telling you right now that I don't need a license to ride, and it's not even a bike. It's not even. It's not even. No. It's not about arguing later. I'm telling you the law right now.
Okay. Well, you
all you're doing is telling me the statute. You're telling. Yeah, he's made a fair request, and it's a request. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And the request is what I give.
All you seem to be doing is delaying.
I'm not delaying anything. What I'm doing is I'm not giving you consent, and I'm not allowed. Listen, it's my property, mate.
Okay, I'm just taking it out.
Give me my key. Give me my key. It's my property. Don't take my property, mate, because I'm not doing anything wrong.
Okay.
And I'm trying to explain to you.
We just provide your details to your colleague, and then you'll be on your way.
Sir,
it's quite simple.
Sir,
please.
Sir, listen to me. My name is Brian. Okay, that's my name. My birth certificate name. That's my name.
Yep. What's your date of birth?
That's what you told me to give you
some identification.
There's no need for me. Listen, as I gave you my name. Guess. Go on. Guesstimate.
You've been in trouble with the police before.
Listen, you're asking me questions. You need to ask me because there's no need to.
I'm having to ask you because what you're doing is just being obstructive and not telling you details.
You're obstructing me by me not going where I'm going, sir. Doing anything wrong.
Right, Mr. Bailey, this is your final warning. Okay. Is there anything I can reasonably say or do to get you to provide me with your name, date of birth, and address right now?
I need to go because my house is going to burn down because my fire's on, my cooker's on.
Okay, which you could have done.
That's what I mean. So what were you trying to say? So you're trying to say that I need to get? Hold on. You need to give my
driving with no insurance and no otherwise in accordance with the license.
You're joking.
Okay. If you do not have to say anything,
Hold on. Oh, let me stop that. They're recording me, and that's it. They're taking me by duress right now, and the duress. Okay.
My colleague's going to take your phone so that it doesn't get smashed. You'll put it back in your pocket.
So there we are, guys. Another sovereign citizen finds out the hard way that scooters are not bikes and vice versa. But more importantly, US laws don't apply in the UK. Right, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you also to my channel members and patrons for your continued support. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to support me and get early access to videos like this, then the links to do all that are in the description. Right, take care all, and I will catch up with you in the next video.
All right. Round of applause for Van Valiant. It's so bizarre. I mean, whether you want to talk about how they handle their laws over there or whatever, the idea in general that American law doesn't apply. When you quote American laws, statutes, and constitutions in other countries, it's like, okay, so go there then. Frauditor Troll has a word that Long Island Audit, Sean Paul Reyes, is about to be sentenced today. A live stream later, you might want to attend. Richard, I don't know if, I don't know anything about that unless I don't know. I do know that DMA, Denver Metro Audits, Chris Cordova, has his appeal for his sentencing today, and that Troll is going to cover that live. But if he's also going to talk about Long Island Audit, that's even better. But yeah, hello, welcome to the show. Great to have you here. Let's see who else jumped in. Let's see who else jumped in here when I was playing the video that I missed. I don't know. I don't see anybody. Oh, Zerzu's here. What's up, Zerzu? Always great to see you. Always checking out the NASA updates. Yeah, people have been talking about the launch all morning. Let's see. Zerzu, Cool Clear Waters here. David E. Persons is here. What's up, people? Good to see you. I don't think there's anybody else. Oh, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is here. All right. Awesome. I love the Beatles. Awesome. Great to have you here. What was that? I could have swore there was somebody else that popped in. Oh, was it Graham from the Graham and Bob Show? Galardi's Bar and Grill is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, Frauditor Comedy Show's here. What's up? Great to see you as always. Yes. Chris Kelling is here. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. Oh, what a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. All right, see, I got it. That reminded me of a cool thing. Because I get the kids on the weekends, right? So just this past weekend, the boys were here, and I have a 9-year-old son, 13-year-old son, a 16-year-old daughter, and a 19-year-old daughter. And usually every weekend what'll happen is the girls will come drop the boys off. They'll visit for a while, but then they go do their thing because they're teenagers and they're doing their thing, and they'll leave the boys here. But this weekend, the 2 boys and my youngest daughter, all 3 of them were here. It was great. But anyway, my oldest son, he looks at me as like I'm the music guy, and music and movies. Those are my 2 things. So he's always trying to quiz me and see what the extent of my knowledge on music is and all that. And what he did was he went, I have 2 Beatles CD box sets. I have the box set of all their stuff, and then I have the mono box set of all their stuff that was released in mono. I got them both. So he took the stereo one and he brought it out, and then because on the back of the box set, it has a list of all the albums in the order they were released. But it also talks about when they were recorded versus when they were, because, Let It Be was their last album, but Abbey Road was blah, blah, all that. Anyway, so he takes all of my Beatles CDs and lays them out on the table. He's like, I want to test you, Dad. I'm like, okay, what's up? He's like, I want you to restack these in the order in which they were released. So, okay. He's like, damn it. All right. Well, he didn't say damn it. You know, he doesn't swear, but he's like, oh, you got me. Okay, let's try this one. Put them in the order that they were made. Switch out Abbey Road and let it be. Damn it. Okay. Now, and this was, I wouldn't say it was the hard one, but it was the one that's not factual, just opinion based. But it was cool because he's like, now put them in order by which one's the best to the one you like the least. And I'm like, oh, that's a hard one. So then I went through and I spent more. That's the one I spent the most time on, is stacking them in order from best to worst. But when I was done with that, he was like, that's the same thing I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, well, there you go, buddy. But yeah, that was fun. Frauditor Terminators here. What's up? I was 10 when the Beatles came to America, February 9th, 1964. Wow, that was huge. Like when you watch the news clips and you see how like the crowds were out there waiting for him, and it was insane. Beatlemania was nuts. I was born about 10 years later, but wow, yeah, that just seeing the footage of it, like that had to be completely insane. Anyway, it's some wild, wacky stuff, man. Wild, wacky stuff. And it's funny because especially when it comes to the Beatles, it's gotten to a point because the weekend before that, my oldest son was, because like I said, he always likes to quiz me and stuff. He was doing a lyric thing where he would pull up random old songs and he would pull up the lyrics, and then he would see if I could say all the words to the songs. And whenever he pulled up a Beatles song, after a while, because he like had a random thing, like some kind of like a playlist, like, you know, they have preset playlists of like dad rock or 60s rock or 70s or whatever it was. It was something like that. I didn't see it because he's behind the computer where I can't see, because then I could cheat where he was getting all this from. But after a while into the game, he stopped and he's like, okay, from now on, whenever a Beatles song comes up, I'm not even going to ask you because I already know you're going to get it right every time. Cheeky Monkey's here. All right, what's up? Just finished smoked haddock and mushroom sauce with new potatoes, steamed veg now for dessert. You always eat the best food, ding dong, dang, dag, nabbit. I got to come over to your house and eat. Lucy and the Sky with Diamonds. This is why kids today are dysfunctional, because they realize their music sucks. Amazon Music, that's where I get all my music from. Their concerts were insane. Oh, I'm sure. Wait, what is this? Which scares me for Hassan Gutterman's son. Oh, Jason Gutterman. Anyway, yeah, I've said this before, but my theory on modern music is based on what I always put it like this. Because everyone will say, well, every generation, you know, the previous generation always hates the music the kids are listening to. You know, you're just somebody who's old now and saying that. But my counter to that is this. Like, when I was young and I was listening to Slayer, right? And my parents' generation would be like, that's just noise. That's not music. I could always look at it and say, but wait a minute. What is music? It's a combination of rhythm, beat, melody, like all of these things come together to create, you know, this overall sound. So technically, maybe the melody's fast, maybe it's intense, maybe it's crazy, but it's there. It still can be defined as music. But modern music is all about beat and rhythm. They just throw melody out the window. And if there is a melody, it's usually stolen in a sample from an old song. So technically, if you take the melody out of it, it's just rhythm and beat. It's not music at all. So you can technically say modern stuff isn't music because there's no melody. And the other piece of my theory on that is that's why the lyrics have gotten so vicious. Like, there were songs back in the day that were bad, obviously. Again, I was listening to Slayer. I was listening to, death metal, Cannibal Corpse. Like, you don't get worse lyrics than that. But why is it different? Oh, just because you liked it? No. The difference is that it seems like today, when you think back, right? I could say something. Let's go back hundreds of years. Ba, bum, ba, bum, 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 ba. Bum, 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 boom, 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 boom. That's melody. You remember the melody. It's a 200-year-old Mozart song. People recognize that melody, right? Unchained melody. My darling, I've hungered for your touch. Right? You remember the melody, right? Even if you don't remember the words, you remember the melody. But since modern music doesn't have a melody, they have to give you something to remember. So they say the most insane stuff they could think of to say, because what are you going to say if you're trying to talk to somebody? Oh, well, hey, what's the name of that song that goes boom, chick, boom, chick, boom, chick? Oh, they all go boom, chick, boom, chick. Oh, the one where the guy sings about murdering his dad in the bathroom. Oh, yeah. Like, they have to say these insane lyrics because there's got to be something to remember. There's no melody to remember, so you have to try and put these crazy images in their head. And sing it his. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still mine? Hot for teacher, I got it made, got it made, got it made. I'm hot for teacher. Van Halen, I got it made, so made. I'm hot for teacher. Modern Pop is all written by AI anyway. Yep. Somebody asked earlier if we know. Oh, there we go. Are there any Carpenters fans in here? Let me tell you something about the Carpenters, man. I didn't know for years. I mean, obviously I know now, but for a long time, I didn't realize that Karen was the drummer and the lead singer, because, especially after they became really popular, when you watch like those old TV segments, they always put her in front because she was the lead singer and, she was pretty and she's a girl, and so they always put her in front. So I got used to, when I was younger, seeing these clips of her on TV and she's always standing in front. But then, like, you see the actual live footage of her, and she's the one sitting behind the drums, singing while driving. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't know. So that was a fun fact to learn as I got older. Let's see. Where's somebody said something about that melody was Unchained. Explaining music. That's right. Somebody said something else I wanted to say. What is this? A lot of recording artists are releasing their music on vinyl now. Vinyl is very popular. My son buys vinyl. I had to show him how to use the record player. I love my vinyl collection. My records. I love records, man. I love them. I love them. I love them. But she was a very talented musician. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Van Halen, yeah. See, that's the thing, man. Music. I always say this, and I was actually talking to my kids this weekend. I pointed this out. It's like, because music and movies, if you look at them, like the history of both, they kind of like follow similar patterns. I guess it's, art imitates life, life imitates art. Like, depending on what was going on in the world at the time, what was popular at the time also was changing. Mark Baggett is here. What's up, Mark? But it does seem like they both kind of follow similar patterns. And the point I was making to my son is that, like, good music does still exist. There are still good bands out there, and good movies still exist. There are good films out there. The problem is, in the old days, the popular stuff was the good stuff. Nowadays, The popular stuff is the cookie cutter stuff that they know is going to sell, and that's what you're going to see all over you, right? All over the place. But you have to dig. You have to go out of your way to try and find the good stuff. And half the time, if somebody else through word of mouth doesn't point you in the right direction, you could just keep digging and digging until hopefully you'll find something worthwhile. The most recent, and I've mentioned it on here before, the most recent thing I found was there's a band called Goose. They're a jam band, and they're freaking fantastic. So there are still people out there that are doing good stuff, but again, you got to dig pretty deep to find them. But anyway, before we go too far off the rails, wait a minute. Is Graham from the Graham and Bob Show here? Yeah. The issue is finding good music in a good movie. Yeah. That's another one that's hard to do. But it can happen. Just watch any Quentin Tarantino film and you'll hear some good music. He's great at getting out the good stuff. The story is like this. During their concerts, Karen was more comfortable being on the drums because she was shy and always considered Richard the star, but people wanted to see Karen. Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. Obviously, we know, Karen's story and so it's absolutely believable that she was more shy and didn't mind hiding in the back. That makes perfect sense with her personality and all that. But yeah, like I said, the TV people wanted her in front, and I mean, again, trying to think from a television producer's mindset in the 70s, right? Oh, well, you got to put the pretty girl up in front, especially if she's singing, But yeah, here's to singing drummers everywhere. Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees. Phil Collins from Genesis. Well, although obviously we know he wasn't the original lead singer of Genesis, but after Peter Gabriel left, he was singing from behind the kit. So yeah, they're definitely out there. Somebody mentioned Rush earlier. Absolutely one of the best bands ever. You can't mess with Rush. Come on, give me a break. Let's see. I love getting the hidden meanings behind songs or what they're actually saying. It's great. Richard thought because of her voice, he made a deal with her that on the ballads, she should sing up front. She consented. Okay. Eagles. Hey, here's the thing, Nightman's wife. Like, we can talk about the Eagles all day, and that's fine. But whenever anyone talks about the Eagles, I always get a little leery because a few months ago, they went on a tear, copyright striking videos where they were playing like if I went and grabbed my guitar right now and just started playing an Eagles song, like videos like that were getting hit with copyright strikes. So it's like, no. The Strawberry Alarm Clock. Oh, yeah. I'm off to work. It was great talking to everyone. I look forward to chatting more. And everyone have a great day. You have a great day. It was great seeing you. Thank you for coming to visit us. You're always welcome. It seems like we're having a lot of fun together. The Rash family's in full effect. We all love each other here. We have a good time every morning. That's what it's all about. So that's the story you may not have heard about. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great. I love information like that. In fact, that's funny because, again, over the weekend when I was with the boys, we went shopping, and when we were in the grocery store, they were playing a Carpenter song over, they have the music playing in the store, and we started talking about Karen and Richard and their whole story. The Ancient Chart of Music and Art is here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, great to see you as always. And it's time now for the Cupcake Happy Dance. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. Ole. All right. Yes. We love you, Maggie. God bless you. All of our thoughts and prayers are with you. We know. There she is. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I mean. Oh, we love you. God bless you. And again, definitely get in touch with me about that. I owe you a piece of cake, dagnabbit. And again, now that I'm in Wisconsin, but yes, absolutely. All of our thoughts and prayers are with you. Hoping, get well soon, all that good stuff. We love you. Anyway, lovely to see you too. Oh, yes, lovely to see everyone here. As always, Nightman's wife, Cupcake Dance. We love Cupcake. Absolutely. Love Cupcake. Yes, absolutely. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the show and get back to the next video. Is going to be a video from NCR News Network, another big supporter of the channel. We love NCR. So let's go ahead and get that video going. Pretty soon it's going to be showing, and everybody's going to be knowing how awesome it is. You should check out YouTube. Check out Tori Halhoub. Her Star is Rising. She's a Carpenters fan, but she sounds a lot like Karen when she sings. It's her natural voice. Hey, that's awesome. I'll definitely look into that. Because, I was trying to remember which song they were playing in the grocery store. Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? Baby, 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 oh, baby. I love you. I really do. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. It's just the radio.
Hi, folks. Today we're going to take a look at Anthony X, where he goes to a public library and gets trespassed, but yet argues he knows it's a limited public forum and that he can still do what he wants there because it's open to the public. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all of my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, I couldn't keep this channel going, so I want to personally thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the page, leave a like and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm, and if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
Little kiosks right here at the library. Got the little station up there for the staff. What's that?
Did you have a question?
No, I'm good. Appreciate it.
Would you mind not filming in the library?
Oh, no, of course I'm going to. That's silly. Not filming the library. Let this gentleman conduct his business, then I'll find out why she wouldn't want me to record.
Well, there's a multitude of reasons why they wouldn't want you recording inside the library. Seeing as it's a limited public forum, they can set time, place, and restrictions on that. However, how about that you don't disturb the other patrons there? I mean, people come to libraries to relax and read, to get private education through tutors, or to help clients that they're tutoring there. It's also a good place for families to take their children to get them into a hobby that is very beneficial. But regardless of all that, the reason they don't want you to do it is because they've asked you to. Now, you can either respect the wishes of this library, or you could be a jerk and continue to film, but the choice is up to you.
Well, we're waiting.
Cool little library, guys. Not huge, but not a bad size. Nice and modern. I would like to see more artwork, but still nice, guys. Gonna wait till she's done helping that gentleman and go ask a question.
And while we wait for him to go ask his question, I'll be cutting out the dead air, so we'll just jump ahead to where he goes to ask the librarian this question that he so desperately needs to ask her, which is also important.
Hello. Yes, is there a branch on like supervisor, librarian, or I don't know what the official title is, someone in charge? Just had a question for that person. Thanks.
Now, guys, right here, I do a 360 because I noticed a couple of kids walking in. It's not against the law to record them, but to be nice, I kept my back to them and tried my best. This is important because later she makes it sound like I'm deliberately trying to record customers and the kids. Keep in mind, it's not illegal, and I can't help if they walk in the background, but I am doing my best, just to be clear.
What a crock of shit. Have you ever heard more bullshit or dribble coming from somebody who's not even the president?
They're all hiding kind of in the back. Hopefully she's getting the chief librarian or supervisor. Just kind of whispering, guys, losing my voice. Trying not to disturb any patrons here.
Here is where I have to call into question some of his statements he has made. He made that statement that he's not trying to film the patrons or customers. However, he just filmed two of them walking through. I get it that they may be adults. The gentleman may have been an older teen. He could still be a minor. However, the fact of the matter is this. You are saying that you don't want to film the patrons or the customers. You don't want to disturb them, but yet you're standing there. You have a camera on a tripod. So you can actually be more of a lookout of when somebody's coming by and actually move your camera.
Still waiting, guys. Been about 10 minutes now, and no one's come out. Maybe they're hoping I'm just going to go away. Who knows? Maybe they're watching me on a camera somewhere. I'm not going to stop.
We do have signs up at the front.
I get it. You have that. I don't need that. I've seen them before.
Okay, I'm going to place it right here for you.
I do have a question for you, though.
No, I'm going to.
No, I have a question for you, ma'am.
You can't film in this.
I'm going to film.
Okay. I'm going to have to call PD.
You can call them. This is a public entity. I pay for this. I have a right to be here. I'm not bothering patrons.
Shenanigans.
No.
Shenanigans.
No.
And we're calling shenanigans here. Because here's the thing. You are actually bothering the patrons. You may not know it because they may have spoken to you, but you don't know if they have spoken to other staff, and other staff have made phone calls about the guy standing around with the camera filming everybody. Not to mention, you have a clear knowledge that there are signs saying that you're not allowed to film here and choosing to ignore them. You're choosing to ignore the rules and policies that this library has in place. Why is that? Because you don't care about rules. You care about feelings. Your feelings in particular over than everybody else's.
And I have asked him to leave, and he is not. So now he is trespassing.
I'm not trespassing, ma'am. I have a right to be here.
Wrong!
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You do realize members of the public have a right to be here and to record. It's a First Amendment right. Policies don't trump that.
Call Joey, please.
This is why I wanted a supervisor, someone who actually knew the actual laws. If you had a policy that says I'm not allowed to pray, am I going to be kicked out for praying or free speech? I need your business card as well.
Hi, this is 3090 Eleanor Avenue. We have an individual who's in the library filming. We have given him our policies and let him know that this is not allowed. And we have asked him to leave and he is not, so now he is trespassing.
No, I have a right to be here, ma'am.
Now, you don't actually have a right to be here because when you enter in the library, which is a limited public forum, you can actually be asked to not film. They have time, place, and manner restrictions. And of course, if you look at the case of Greer v. Spock, just because a place is owned or operated by the government does not mean it becomes a First Amendment protected forum. Therefore, if they have time, place, and manner restrictions like they do, and they have shown you their policies, and you choose to willfully ignore them and refuse to leave after being asked by staff, you are committing the crime of criminal trespassing. And they have the right to have the police escort you off the property. Now, what you choose to do with that information is up to you.
Yes. I believe, wait. No. Maybe 4 days. Heavy bill.
Don't need it. Nope.
I'm sorry,
This is
can
why I
you
wanted to
repeat
speak to a supervisor or chief librarian.
that? I cannot see. He has a Golden State Warriors hat on. It is gray and he has a black t-shirt.
Black t-shirt, camo pants, and black shoes.
Yes.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
Yes. No, but he is holding what the little selfie stick thingies with 2 phones.
Yeah, peacefully recording, trying to get some information.
I can't tell.
No weapons.
He is right at our information desk where we help patrons.
Except you refuse to help me.
Kirsten,
Kirsten.
can I not repeat that because he is filming me?
I'm going to get a copy of their phone record anyways of the 911 call. I'll get all the information.
I am a clerk.
Kirsten, the clerk, will get her public information, her salary.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
408-808-3090. And then you can just call and ask for me or any of the supervisors. They'll know what's going on. Absolutely.
It's funny, I've been in their Cupertino library, other libraries. This is the only one that they are giving me problems.
Awesome. Thank you.
Are they giving you problems, or are they done dealing with the shenanigans of frauditors? Look at the recent events of North Cal Cop Watch when he pepper sprayed a patron in a Dublin library. Now, they may have changed their policies throughout the entire state of California. I don't know because I don't live there. However, you were given policies saying that they don't allow filming. There is signs on the doors. You acknowledge that this is a limited public forum with your own words, but yet you continue to ignore their rules. Perhaps they are done dealing with your shenanigans and you not wanting to obey the rules and asking you to leave. And since you have refused to leave when you were asked, that gives them the grounds to call the cops to have you trespass from the property.
So you're going to refuse to help me, ma'am? I'm trying to get service here. This belongs to the people. You can't ask anyone you want to leave just because you don't like me.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Okay. Can I get an application for a library card, please?
Yeah, it's on that computer. I can show you where it is.
I'm not really computer literate too much, so do you have an actual paper copy?
I can print one out for you. It'll take me a few minutes.
That'd be great. And do you have a business card since you're the acting supervisor?
I do not have a business card, actually. I can give you my branch managers, though.
That'd be great. Thank you very much. And if I wanted to file a complaint, I would call her?
Yep.
Perfect. Because you will be getting a complaint.
Okay.
Calling the police, armed men, hoping to come and violate my rights for simply taking pictures. Telling me I can't sit down in a chair when I have a bad back.
Shenanigans.
No.
Shenanigans.
No.
And we're calling shenanigans yet again. Due to the simple fact that they never said you couldn't sit down. They only asked you to stop recording or to please leave. If you choose to stay and record and not leave, that's you committing the crime of criminal trespass under California Penal Code 602. Now, if you want to continue to stay there, turn off your cameras. But this is the problem with frauditors. You guys want to lie and spread misinformation because that is how you make your money. At no point in this entire video have I seen or my viewers seen that they said you could not sit in a chair. They have been nothing but polite and courteous to you, and you chose to.
Smuckering and laughing when I almost tripped on your thing right here. See if the police show up, guys. It'll be interesting.
Yes, it will. More interesting than the dead air and you harassing the rest of the staff there. So we're going to jump ahead to where Anthony has an encounter with a resource officer stationed at this library.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm a senior resource officer Villegas with the city of San Jose.
Okay.
So,
do you have a card by any chance?
Yeah. Well, it was my ID.
No.
I think I might have ran out of cards.
Sorry, so backwards I can't.
But so basically, per the policies, we can't have you filming.
Yeah. So just like I was,
It's a little weird. Let me say my spiel.
Okay, go ahead.
And then I'll hear you out. It's a little weird. There's a lot of kids here. Obviously, you're located next to James Lick. I mean, it is kind of weird. So I don't understand why you're filming.
So let me clarify. So to start off, when I came in, first of all, my goal is not just to dispel any myths. My goal is not to record children or bother patrons getting services, children or not. When I first came in, I was actually getting shots of like the pamphlets. I wasn't even recording anyone, just so you know particular. I was actually checking out like over there. I have a bad back. I was sitting down in the chair. She came out very rude, like, oh, you can't sit in the chair.
This is such a crock of shit.
She's saying you can't record just from the get-go. And just to clarify, so there's policies, there's penal code, statutes, whatever. There's also our Constitution. I'm an independent journalist working on a story. I did ask to speak with the chief librarian. She said he or she's not available. Branch manager. I'm not sure what the official titles, but that person's not available. Yeah. Just to clarify though, I am allowed to record in here as long as I'm not bothering people.
So this is
no, let me finish this. And I get it. It's not a traditional public forum. Yeah. Whatever policies they have though, don't trump the actual Constitution.
Now you are partially correct due to the fact that yes, the Constitution can't be trumped by any mere policy. However, there is U.S. Supreme Court case law that grants their policies to be enforced and applied to you. The Greer v. Spot case of 1972, which has established that just because a place is owned or operated by the government doesn't mean it becomes a First Amendment protected forum. And then there's the Airport Commissioner's case versus Jews for Jesus, which established the three types of public forums: the traditional, the limited, and the non-traditional public forum. Seeing as this is a limited public forum, and the U.S. Supreme Courts have established that time, place, and manner restrictions could be held here, and they can be enforced and allow them to trespass you from the property if you do not adhere to those time, place, and manner restrictions, they can have you arrested. They can have you trespassed, and it's all on you because you choose to be as ignorant as
you try to trespass me from public or arrest me for simply working on a story and gathering content. I will hold you personally accountable under California Penal Code 148G. I can record you under our Constitution, the Tom Bain Civil Rights Act 52.1. You will lose qualified immunity. You will be held on the actual lawsuit, $25K. No, but you personally, if you violate my rights, if you're part of it, you can be held personally responsible.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
I think this.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, I'm right here at the door. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. One second. All right. No, I'm just letting them know.
Hopefully he understands he's not feelings enforcement.
Yeah, no. Cool. All right, no problem. Okay, good.
So to clarify, just to clarify your position again, because I'm still a little confused. I see the badge you mentioned. Are you actually with like the San Jose PD?
Yeah, so I am a civil servant.
Gotcha.
The same way that was in the military.
Hey, let me start out by doing this.
No,
I
I'm
appreciate.
okay.
Let me do this. Come on, man. I appreciate your service. Don't leave me hanging, brother.
So basically,
So so you swore an oath to the Constitution. You fought for our freedom. I hope you're not about to try to violate my rights.
what I'm saying is that we have policies.
Policies, not law.
You're violating our policies.
Policy.
And because you're violating the policies, now we have to ask you to leave. Refusing to do so means that you're trespassing. And because you're trespassing, we have already called patrol. They will come and they will escort you out. Or maybe even cite you.
So to clarify, so you are trespassing me from public property for not breaking any laws, not causing a disturbance, simply because I have a camera exercising my rights. The same thing.
They are not asking you to leave or be trespassed because you are simply exercising your First Amendment rights. They are simply asking you to leave because you're violating their policies. And since you chose to ignore their policies and violate them and not leave when you are asked to by staff, that's why they're having you trespassed. Technically, you are breaking the law by continuing to stay there after being asked to leave.
Like free speech, or if I had a certain religion, the same Constitution, the 5 elements under the First Amendment, gives me authority to do what I'm doing. I wasn't bothering any of the patrons here. I wasn't causing a disturbance. I was literally just here in the front as a courtesy. I came out here actually because I thought I was waiting for PD to come out here, so I would wait for him. I didn't realize you were going to come from over there.
Well, I'm not.
And see, this is another thing, and it's so like all you guys are saying in the chat, all he's doing is just regurgitating, word vomiting the script that he's heard on other Frauditor videos. None of it actually means anything. It's all nonsense. But it's like, first of all, let's break it down a little bit, okay? You go into a building, and I said this the other day, you see that there's a sign on the door that says no recording. Now, let's say, just for the sake of argument, that policy actually is unconstitutional, right? You go to that building and you film that they have that sign on the door. You don't even have to go inside. You have your evidence that they have a no filming policy. You got it on video. You don't even have to enter the building. What's up, Lisa? Just you filming that sign on their door is all the evidence you need to prove that they have an unconstitutional no filming policy. But no, because that doesn't get you clicks and views. Because if their actual goal was to fight that policy, then all they have to do is take a picture of the sign on the front door and then bring that to a city council meeting or to whoever else that you need to show that to and explain to them, maybe even hire a lawyer if it's unconstitutional. Because they love to say things like, oh, well, what if you said I couldn't be in there because I'm black? Oh, what if you said it? Well, if they actually were violating your civil rights attorneys would be lined up around the block to take that case pro bono because it'd be an easy win. They'd be knocking on your door. Please, let me take your case. But no, they can't do that because, again, that would actually be doing something. But they're not actually doing something. They're just trying to get clicks and views and make a few bucks. And more importantly, trying to ruin people's lives. And that's why I really, really, really find these guys to be despicable. Because you walk into a building that you know for a fact before you walk in there has a no filming policy. What's up, Cynthia? Because that's the whole thing, right? They see the no filming sign on the door and that's, okay, I have to go in there because it says no filming, so I have to go in there filming. So they know before they walk in the door that there's a no filming policy. Then when somebody says, hey, there's no filming in here, I'm going to put in a complaint about you. I'm going to try to get you fired. I'm going to publicly humiliate you on my YouTube channel. I'm going to punish you for having the audacity to tell me that you have a no filming policy, even though you knew damn well they had that policy before you even walked in the damn door because the sign's on the door. So none of their arguments hold up. Because what's the point of violating the policy to prove they have the policy? Just the fact that the sign's on the door proves they have the policy. All you're doing is looking for an excuse to try and get someone fired, to try and get a complaint against someone, to try and ruin somebody's life. That's why I say it looks to me like that's their goal. Besides making YouTube money, besides getting YouTube clout, but to get a kick out of ruining people's lives. When Accountability for All, when he walked into that place and made that girl cry and quit her job, he laughed about it. He thought it was funny. These are the kind of people we're dealing with. They think pepper spraying people is awesome. They love it because they had the audacity to ask not to be filmed. Because if I use my First Amendment right to film, I'm going to be punished. Because I'm not a frauditor. Only frauditors are allowed to film. Anyone else films, they're a Cambacking Karen. They're a Darren. They're a bootlicker. So only frauditors are allowed to film. And if I use my freedom of speech to say, please don't film me, I'm going to get pepper sprayed for having the audacity to say that. Or I'm going to be publicly humiliated on their YouTube channel. They're going to make fun of me. They're going to call me a snowflake. They're going to call me a bootlicker. They're going to say I'm anti-American. Their fans are going to laugh at me. Or maybe if I'm at a business, they'll have their fans call flood me and threaten to come over to my house and blow it up and murder me because I asked somebody not to film me. These are the people we're dealing with. How come you don't respect these guys? They're standing up for our rights. No, they're trying to destroy people's lives. That's what they're trying to do. The base is always the same thing. It's really very simple. Somebody, hey, Anastasia, what's up? Somebody who's a jerk, somebody who's a jackwagon, somebody who's an a-hole, a butterbrain douche canoe, a potato brain, an idiot, watches these videos online and says, hey, I walk around being a jerk to people, and now, thanks to YouTube, I've realized that if I film myself being a jerk to people and call it a First Amendment audit, I could get paid to be the jerk that I am anyway. This is great. Where do I sign? They're slime balls. Because if they're out there fighting for the right to film and policies don't trump my rights, and they walk into a place and one of the employees pulls out their camera. Again, if it's just a random person on the street, they're a bootlicker, they're a Karen, they're a Darren, they're a piece of crap, they're horrible. How dare they film me? And if they're an employee, hey, your policy says you can't film. I thought you were fighting for the right to film. So shouldn't you be fighting against that policy, especially because you don't believe in the policy anyway? You only believe in the Constitution? Anything other than their interpretation of the Constitution matters. And once again, I'm working on a story. Okay, what story? What story? Now, I know the generic argument from our side is I've never even seen anyone ever publish a story that they're supposedly working on. But I know what they would say. I've been doing this for a long time. Their answer would be, well, the story is how these people react to seeing me filming. Well, one, if you walk into a building that you know for a fact has a no filming policy before you even walk in the door, you already know how they're going to react. They're going to ask you to stop filming. Like, what are you uncovering? Again, as soon as you see the no filming sign on the door, you know they have a no filming policy. So your story is to see if they enforce that policy. And if they do, you're going to accuse them of getting in the way of your story. But their reaction is your story. But these guys lie. They lie. They lie. Well, how could you call them liars? The video we're watching right now. Oh, I'm computer illiterate. You have to give me paperwork to fill out the form. I can't fill it out online. You who film YouTube videos, have a YouTube channel, edit the videos, upload the videos, put them out here. You don't know anything about computers. You don't know how to use one. You're a liar. How many times do we see these guys? Oh, I'm illiterate. You have to fill out my forms for me because you're a slave. Public servant means slave in their minds. I walk into a building. I ask for a FOIA. You can't give me the FOIA. No, you have to fill it out for me, slave. Yeah, but this is the wrong building. We don't even take FOIAs here. No, you have to fill out my FOIA for me because you're my slave. And then you have to not do the work. You have to not do the work that our tax dollars pay you to do. You have to stop doing the work that my tax dollars pay these people to do. And this is another reason why I get personally offended by these guys. My tax dollars pay them to do their job. The frauditor walks in the door. Now they have to stop doing what I'm paying them to do to fill out your FOIA for you and physically walk it downtown to hand it to the right people. They have to physically hand it to the right people because they're your servants, they're your slaves, and they must do what you say because you're holding a camera. And another example of that is when they say, well, you have to create your own privacy. And you say, well, how am I supposed to do that when I'm sitting here working and you're standing behind me filming the screen on my computer? Oh, well, you shut the screen down while I'm filming. That way I can't get that information. Oh, so once again, the people who my tax dollars are paying them to do a job, when the frauditor walks in, they have to stop doing their job and turn off their computer screen and just sit there twiddling their thumbs so that the frauditor can film them sitting there twiddling their thumbs and say, look, see this worker not doing anything? See how lazy they are and how they don't do anything? It's all lies. It's all scams. It's all false narrative building. It's moving the goalposts. All the things that these guys do is all, to me, transparently BS. Nonsense to intentionally cause a negative reaction. All of the evidence points to that. Like I've said it before and I'll say it again because it's a fact. In fact, something happened to me yesterday that is a perfect example of this. I always say that the only thing that could make sense in my head, other than obviously there are exceptions to everything. There are people out there who are just scumbags and they just like watching this stuff or doing this stuff just because they like being scumbags because that's what they are. But there's also a large group of people, especially their fans. When I read the comments on their videos versus the comments that people on our end do, right? I always see this pattern where people like me are reacting to what's happening in the video. But if you read the comments from their fans, they're reacting to the frauditor's narration, the lies, the BS, the false narrative building that's coming out of the frauditor's mouth. That's what they're reacting to. Turn the audio off and watch the video and then react to that. And what you'll see is, for example, right now, look at that guy standing there. There's a guy standing there. You watch the video with no sound, what are you going to see? A guy standing there. Turn the sound on and listen to the narration, and what is that? That's a tyrant, a vicious tyrant trying to violate my rights. He's violating my civil rights, my civil liberties. He's destroying the Constitution. He's tearing it to shreds. He doesn't care about freedom or liberty. And that's what the people in Anthony X's comment section are going to be saying. Oh, look at that tyrant. Look at that tyrant. Look at that horrible tyrant. They're not reacting to what happened because here's what happened. You're looking at it. There's a dude standing there. Oh no. There's a person and he's standing there. Look out. What tyranny. Is he beating him over the head with a stick? When he asked him to leave and he didn't leave, did he pull out a pistol and shoot him in the face? Where's the tyranny? He's standing there. But if you listen to the narration, oh, he's this horrible, vicious tyrant violating my civil liberties and my civil rights, and he's violating the Constitution, and how dare he? And then you read the comment section, and all the reactions are, look, I can't believe that tyrant violated your rights. I can't believe that tyrant treated you that way. It's so ridiculous. It seems so transparent to me, so obvious that these guys are full of CRAP, crapola. The Frauditor song. Crapola. I just made that one up.
So by you telling me that you're trespassing me now, if you could write down, I'll leave. You don't have to worry about that. If you're saying you're trespassing me and you're going to do it, that's all I need for civil litigation. If you could write down your name and badge number on a piece of paper and an incident number, I'd like that. And I'll take off.
Again, I'm not a cop. I'm not.
Well, I thought you just said you were a cop.
No, I'm a senior.
You dumb bastard.
Your resource officer.
Gotcha.
So when you go back and rewind that.
No, I heard you say that. I was just a little confused. That's my bad. Okay.
Oh, okay. So.
Because you have a badge, so you're not law enforcement.
I'm not law enforcement.
You're not a sworn law officer.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So I'm a senior resource officer. I help out the homeless. I enforce policies. I enforce guidelines.
So you enforce policies.
Yes.
Now let me ask you this: if they had a policy saying no free speech, or no religion allowed in here, or no Mexican people or white people, would you enforce that?
Let's go talk outside.
Would you? No, I'm right here. I'm just saying here where it's cool. Would you enforce that?
Let's go. I appreciate talking outside. Just because there's other people
Well,
here.
that's why I'm over here. I'm not trying to go there. We're pretty far away. I'm just trying to stay out of the cool, man.
I get what you're getting at. I'm just letting you know you are being trespassed.
Do you have the authority to trespass someone?
Patrol, they are coming out.
Do you have authority to
So
trespass
they will
someone?
Be contacting you.
So they can contact me now. If they tell me I have to leave under threat of arrest, I'll leave. You're a disgrace, brother. You're a disgrace. I'm wondering what side you fought for. What a disgrace. Total disgrace to the uniform, guys. He said he fought for our country.
And have you served? Have you made the sacrifices that this man's made? Separation from his family, his friends, risking his life to defend the rights and freedoms of our country. But yet you have the balls to stand there and criticize him because he's not catering to your whims. Every frauditor who says stuff like this about anybody who served, I question their integrity. I question their moral compass because they had the nerve to go and fight for what's right. While you sit back here and criticize and judge people because they hurt your feelings. We're going to jump ahead to where the cops show up to deal with this idiot.
Hello. How are you? I'm just waiting for you guys. I was getting ready to take off. It's been hopping. I know they called on me. So I just wanted to get an incident number, one thing when you're done. And then if you guys could just do me a favor and let them know that I have a right to be here. I wasn't bothering patrons. I wasn't sticking cameras in their faces. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't trying to record children, even though I can't control if they're in the background or something. Right. When I first came in right off the bat, I have a bad back. I just came from a doctor appointment. I was sitting in the chair right by the front, minding my own business. And she comes out snapping, like, oh, you can't sit there. And I'm like, I'm just resting my back for a few minutes. And
Liar!
She's like, oh, you can't record. And I'm like, of course.
So not only do they lie all the time because false narrative building, but notice the new trend. And it's not really new. It's been going on for a while now, actually, because I remember I wrote my book a few years ago now, and I mentioned this in my book. And at that time, it was new. Like, it was a shift. Because what happened was, in the beginning, cops would come. It would be a huge mess. They'd post the videos. The department would get a ton of calls. There'd be all kinds of nonsense. So all these different police departments all over the country have been being trained that if you run into one of these morons, ignore them. Just ignore them, let them do their thing, leave them alone. That's when these douche canoes started to double down on auditing libraries, private businesses, whatever, all these different places, specifically knowing the cops are going to ignore them. So you go to a place and you keep poking the bear and poking the bear and poking the bear and poking until they call the cops. Now the cops have to come because they have to answer the call. And what happens when the cops get there? Let's watch this guy lick the boots. Oh, officer, well, you know I'm just expressing my freedom. Your job as a police officer is to go in there and tell them I'm right. But it's, hey, officer, right? Like, they're not doing the, hey, screw you, you damn pigs anymore. Now the cops show up and they start licking the cops' boots because they want the cops to be on their side. And the cops, again, now that they're being trained when they see these idiots to leave them alone, they show up and already they know, oh, boy, it's another one of these douche canoes. I'm going to have to go in there and tell him he's got the right to film. Oh, boy, what a nightmare. So now it's like they're not auditing the cops anymore. Unless it's an ID refusal video, which I've been over that 1,000 times, why that's all disingenuous nonsense as well. What none of these people seem to understand, it's really, really, really so easy. If you're in a building and someone in the building that, not just a random person, but somebody who works there, somebody who's in some way involved in the building, especially if it's a manager or whatever, asks you to leave and you don't, boom, you're trespassing. Now they'll argue, again, what you asking me to leave is a violation of my rights. If it legitimately is, then that's an easy win lawsuit. No worries. If it's legitimately a violation of your rights, which 99.9% of the times it's not. And these guys don't care. They say they care. But just look at the evidence. All these guys for all these years doing all this crap. And what is the ultimate end? What actually have we seen come out of what these guys do? They've been doing this for years. So what is the result that we've seen? What changes have they made? We got laws, more laws limiting people's rights to film. Thanks, guys. We have the general public supporting those laws because when they're harassed and bullied and humiliated publicly or pepper sprayed or whatever else after dealing with one of these guys, call flooded with death threats and threats of other even worse things on the phone from people because they had a dealing with one of these guys. They hate these guys so much that they support these laws that actually do limit our freedoms. So they've done that. They've gotten people in post offices and libraries and other places to dread anytime someone comes in there with the camera. A legitimate independent journalist out there filming gets people coming up to him saying, oh, you're not one of those guys, are you? Oh, no. Now you have to spend double amount of time trying to explain what's going on. We've seen that happen. We've seen a lot of people get pepper sprayed as a result of what they do. We've seen a lot of people get fired as a result. We've seen people have to quit their jobs. We've seen people have nervous breakdowns. We've seen people in mental health crises trying to get escalated into the intensity of their violence towards themselves as a result of these guys. So what good are they actually doing for society? 90% of the I'm sorry. Long Island Audit got a no filming sign removed from a door in Berwyn. Oh, yeah. Who cares? And I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more. Go away money. Exactly. They want the YouTube money and they want the lawsuit. That's what they want. They don't care about anything actually changing. But let's say, for the sake of argument, let's say that they get the change that they always wanted. That, well, first of all, they will increase tyranny. The only possible way to achieve the goal they want is to increase tyranny. Because if you walk into a building and the employees are not legally allowed to ask you not to film anymore, and if you're filming them while they're working and you can get their computer screen, they have to stop doing their job. They have to stop doing what we're paying them to do and sit there and hide their screen until you leave. So if you sit there all day, they literally will get paid to do nothing because you're there filming and refuse to let them have privacy. They have to create their own by shutting off their computer screen. So now to make the frauditor happy, they have to not work. So what's going to happen if they win? First of all, that's going to increase tyranny, because how are you going to get the customers who don't want to be filmed to not ask you? They're not allowed to ask you not to film without tyrannical control forcing the general public not to ask you not to film them. But even so, even if in their version of a perfect world where anyone can go anywhere and film anything, and if a frauditor shows up, everyone has to not work and bow to the frauditor and lick his boots, maybe even, I don't know, give him a massage. All the employees and all the customers have to just bend over and bow to the frauditor and do whatever he says when he says it because he's holding a camera. Even if that happens and they get their wish, if everything happens exactly the way they wanted and they win, what did they win? Who wants to film in a post office anyway? Who wants to film in a DMV anyway? Other than frauditors, who wants to film in a library anyway? What did they do? What did they do? They won the right to go in there and do what they're doing anyway. The only difference is they won't get a confrontation, which means they won't get any clicks or views, which means there won't be any benefit to doing what they do. So what's the goal? To get yourself unemployed? To make your job obsolete? To make it possible to do things that nobody except for you guys would ever even think to do? What would Impact Media and his crew do if that happened? They'd go to the post office and they'd stand there and film, which is what they do anyway. And again, their interactions are almost always with the customers. So we have to increase tyranny to force the general public not to say anything to you? Frauditors are 1984. None of these people have ever actually experienced tyranny. They make YouTube money. That's it. That and trying to get that big lawsuit payout too. You know, they'll lose the lawsuit. They want go away money. They want the settlement. Yep, exactly. I almost want the law to change to say that they can record anywhere. They won't get any money from YouTube and they'll go away. Well, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Again, everything that they do proves that everything they say is a lie and that they have no end game goal. How can you say that, Hez? Well, just look at the evidence. They walk into an area that you're not allowed to walk into. Excuse me, sir, you can't be back there. There's no sign saying I can't go back there. You have to put up a sign to keep me out. Okay, so that's your end goal, is to get the sign put up. Cool, let's do it. So they put up the sign. Now they come back the next day, and they go back in that area again. We did what you said you want us to do. What's up, unclean hands? We put up the sign saying you can't go back there. Oh, but there's no code on that sign, so it doesn't count. Fine. So now they add the code to the sign. Next day, the frauditor comes back. If they had an end game, if they had a real goal, if they were honest and not disingenuous douche canoes with a legitimate end goal, when they tell them the end goal is to get you a sign with a code on it, then when they walk in there and see the sign with the code, they'll say, cool, you did what we wanted you to do. And since we're the auditors, you must bow to our will and do what we demand you do, because you're the servants, which means slaves, and you're our slaves, but us, but not anyone else. Only the auditor. Only the frauditor matters. All of the people in the building that are telling the frauditor, I don't want you to film me, screw them. I'm going to publicly humiliate them on my YouTube channel. They don't matter. We, the people, don't matter. Only the frauditor matters. Do what I say because I said it. You got the sign, you got the code on it, but it's an unconstitutional code. My point is, no matter what they do to try and please these guys, they're wrong. If there was an end goal, then there would be a specific thing. I need you to do this, and then we'll leave you alone. And they do it, and they'd leave them alone. But that's not what happens. They do it, and then they find a way to say, no, you can't do that. That's wrong. That's unconstitutional. No, you can't do that. That's bad. The only thing that you could possibly do to win with a frauditor is to literally kiss their butt, to act as their slave, to not work, to stop doing what our tax dollars pay you to do because the frauditor's there, and to just bow to his whim and follow his directives, follow his commands, follow his demands. Who's the tyrant? Everybody, even the general population. If you say, I don't want to be filmed, you're being punished. Anyone and everyone they come in contact with, unless, hey, I love your channel, I watch you, I'm subscribed, yay. Unless you say those words, you are the enemy and you must be destroyed. They're going to bring you down because they're the tyrants.
Second record. I wasn't trying to record her, but when she engaged in conversation with me, I tried to explain to her that even though this is not a traditional public forum, this is still owned by the county. I have a right to be here. I got an application for a card. I wanted to get some information from I think it's the Tiffany. I could be wrong. The chief librarian or whatever you call them. It's like a supervisor kind of type role. Okay. But if you guys could let them know that I have a right to be here, they're not here. You guys aren't here to enforce fillings. We're law enforcement, and I hope you guys do the right thing and honor your oath. Now, if it's under threat of arrest and you guys say, "Hey, I have to leave," I will leave peacefully.
So I'll explain to you, like any business,
sure.
This place itself also can ask you to leave.
Well, it's not a traditional business. That would be like City Hall saying, "Hey, we don't want you here," just because, like, so.
They can still ask you to leave.
Well, let me just ask. Let me let you know what I'm doing, just so you guys can make a more executive decision. So I'm independent press. I'm working on a First Amendment audit / story. I'm gathering content.
Well, he's fairly intelligent. He's full of shit.
For a story under the First Amendment, which is protected under the 5 elements, like freedom of speech, freedom of religion. If they didn't like my religion, if they didn't like speech because I'm speaking, they can't kick me out simply for exercising my right. Now, if I was causing a
wait a minute. Cha! Religion's a protected class. Race, religion, handicap, sexual orientation are protected classes. Idiot with a camera is not a protected class. Even press isn't a protected class. They're not. Race, ethnic origin, sexual orientation, religion, handicap, or what I don't remember exactly how it's worded in the actual law, but there are specific protected classes. When they say, oh, but if they kicked me out because of my religion, if they kicked me out because I'm black, no, those are protected classes. Idiot with a camera is not a protected class. Member of the press is not a protected class. Just because you're an idiot holding a camera doesn't give you more rights than everyone else. Buttholes.
Disturbance. If
we haven't talked to him yet.
You know, I'm just letting you know. But yeah, if I was causing a disturbance, I could totally see, hey, you know, disturbing the peace, or you're not letting patrons do their, you know, how do you say, their activities in peace.
Sure.
But me simply, you know, just checking out to see if there's any artwork. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been in your Cupertino one. I've been in your other San Jose ones. They're most of them, 99.9% of the time, they're very inviting. They come out and give me their business card. They let me know where if they have any, like, how do you say, unique features like artwork or whatnot. The lady here, first of all, she's not the custodian of the property. She's just a staff member that doesn't want me here.
He's actually wrong yet again, surprisingly, because she does have the authority as a staff member or an agent of the library to ask you to stop filming and to leave if you're going to continue to ignore their policy. Since it is a limited public forum, time, place, and manner restrictions are here, and they must be adhered to. Now, we're going to jump ahead because this actually goes on for quite a bit longer, where he gives the cops a runaround about they're violating his rights, and the cops try to explain to him that they might ask him to leave, they might allow him to come back in. So let's jump ahead to where the cops actually get done talking to staff.
Guys aren't about to arrest me, are you? I see the gloves on. Okay. So how did it work out? Are we good?
Okay, so they've asked you to leave several times while you're inside, correct?
I can't answer personal questions.
No, you're lying. You're lying. What makes you lie?
Okay, they told us they have.
Okay.
And they want to press charges for trespassing. It's a muni code, it's an infraction.
So even though I'm not committing any crime, I'm just simply in here exercising my rights. They want to press charges, and you guys are going to enforce that?
It's a muni code violation.
For peacefully recording, getting information.
They asked you to not record. And
Yeah, but the rules don't trump my rights, though. It's our Constitution. Like I said, if it's under threat of arrest, I will leave. But I would like to see those that you guys educate them.
I understand what you're trying to say. So,
because I have rights too.
You have a constitutional right to be a dumbass.
Why don't you jump up on the stand?
You have a conscience. Like my partner explained, it's still a business.
It's a business open to the public for the people, though, by the people.
Yes, and
it's like a post office.
They still have the rules.
But it's not law.
I'm telling you, they have their rules, right? They asked you to comply with the rules. They asked you multiple times. They provided you a copy of these rules, and you didn't comply. And you return, you're still doing the same thing. They advised us the same thing, and I'm telling you now. And right now, it's only a violation of a municipal code, which is only an infraction.
Okay?
Yes.
So you guys are going to give me a ticket?
Yes.
For being in a public building?
After they asked you to leave.
In a public building?
And trespassing.
Yeah, but it's a public building open to the people. Do you guys have a sergeant you can call?
Sure.
See, NCR is about to comment on it. But I wanted to say too, what's up, Erica? But yes, that's again, it goes back to the whole idea that these guys lie and build false narratives, and they're disingenuous. They always say things like that. So you're going to write me a ticket for being in a public building? No. I guarantee you the citation doesn't say was in a public building. They're not giving you a citation for being in a public building. They're giving you a citation for trespassing. It's like the people who get pulled over that don't have a license plate, and that's why they got pulled over. So you're going to write me a ticket for traveling freely? No. I guarantee you the ticket doesn't say he was traveling freely. That's not what you're charged with. Lies, 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 lies. Their arguments, I mean, they really don't make sense to logical people with intelligence, because you have to be an idiot to believe this nonsense. If I walk into a building and they say there's no filming in this building, the second they said that, once again, there's my evidence on video proof that they have a no filming policy in this building. If that actually is an unconstitutional policy, that right there is all the evidence I need to fight it. So if I'm actually literally trying to fight it, then I would take that evidence to the proper channels to fight it. But none of them ever do that. If that was, I would believe that that actually was their goal if they actually did that. But that's not what they do. They keep poking the bear and poking the bear and poking the bear and poking the bear until they get trespassed, and then the cops get called and then post their video and make their money. Where are all these guys that are actually fighting these unconstitutional policies? They're not. Because then they would. They don't. All they do is they poke the bear until they get the cops called and they get trespassed, and then they post it on YouTube and count their money. And even the ones who do try and fight it, it's always, and this is why I say it looks to me more like their goal is to destroy people's lives and to take other people's freedoms away. Because what do we actually see them doing when they do something? It's when they're trying to sue somebody. It's when they're trying to put in a complaint against somebody. It's when they're trying to get someone fired. It's when they're trying to get someone arrested. It's when they're trying to pepper spray someone. It's always when they're doing something to hurt someone else that they actually take action. But when it comes to actually fighting the policy, you go there, you film the no filming sign on the door. If you do walk in and they ask you not to film, boom, there's your evidence that they're actually enforcing the policy. You don't have to wait and stick around and keep poking the bear until they kick you out. The second that they ask you to leave for filming, you have your proof right there on film that they do that there. And then you could go through the proper channels to fight that. But they don't do that. They never actually do that. They never actually take action to try and actually change policy. Why? Because they're not an unconstitutional policy. And if they were, then you could fight it and you'd win. But that's not going to happen because they don't even try. Because once they post a video and get paid, they're happy. Because that's the goal. They always say my intent isn't to film kids. Oh, right. But you walk into a building full of kids and they say, there's no filming allowed in here because there's kids. Well, I'm not here to film kids. We don't allow filming because the kids are here. That's why we don't allow filming. Yeah, but I'm not trying to film them. It doesn't matter what you're trying to film. We don't allow filming. Ah! Oh. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Yes, and while we wait for them to get the supervisor for Karen over here, let's analyze what he just said. He said this is no different than a post office. A post office has rules and policies that you must adhere to if you wish to do business with them. So just like that, with that logic, this library has policies and rules that you must adhere to if you wish to conduct business with them. So if you want to obey the rules, you would have had no problem. But since you blatantly chose to ignore their rules and their policies and refuse to leave after being asked multiple times by multiple staff members, that is why you're getting the citation for trespassing. Just because they didn't want to go and cater to what you feel is the interpretation of policies and laws doesn't mean it's right or wrong. If you have an issue with it, fight it in court like an actual adult, not yell and scream and have a tantrum or a hissy fit like a
if possible, yes. So I can't believe you guys are about to enforce feelings rather than actual law.
It's not feelings.
It is feelings. I'm exercising a First Amendment right.
It's absolutely not feelings.
I'm working on a First Amendment right, and you guys are about to give me a citation, taking money out of my pocket for my family because I'm exercising my rights.
They have their own guidelines, okay?
Guidelines, but not law.
Right. But if you make people uncomfortable,
I wasn't going around making people feel uncomfortable. I was literally in the corner minding my own business.
Let me explain to you what they told us.
Okay.
You were filming, maybe minding your business at some point.
Yes.
Okay. But you were coming up to people within reach where it could be recorded on your camera.
Right.
They're saying that they were giving out information like names, last names, dates of birth.
I'm sorry. What?
Information.
Say that part again.
Dates of birth.
No, but what do you mean? Like as far as that goes, what do you mean?
So let's say he's the librarian.
Uh-huh.
I'm somebody else's whatever citizen, a kid, and they're asking for information. You're recording this transaction.
That I wasn't doing.
That's not what they're
That's
saying.
why I was confused when you said that.
Right. So I just want to explain the details, right? So
There
that's
was
why
lit-
they don't allow that kind of stuff because there's personal information being let out and you're recording it.
So literally, I have everything on camera. When I was sitting in the corner, one guy came in after, which was going to the stand over there.
Camera or no?
Yeah, I can show it to you, but I can so you know. So when he was getting his business, I deliberately walked away, kind of just to
You
let him
mentioned that
finish his
several
business.
times, right? The kids, that kind of stuff, but
I wasn't recording. Like when they were up there, like I never once went behind him and was going like this and recording personal
Right.
information.
So,
But even if I was, the onus falls on them to protect it, not me.
so
But I was.
like having policies preventing people from filming or taking photos where that information can be taken and used nefariously. Like the policy you violated and choose to willfully ignore.
So here's the thing: they can't tell when your camera is on or off, right? Because you just have a gimbal.
But they can tell when I walk away, though.
Bingo! That's one of the arguments that they make that is another one that it just doesn't compute in my brain. The onus is on them to keep that stuff private. Right. That's why they created the no filming policy. Again, and if that dude that's in here that's always trying to misquote everything I say and put words in my mouth and argue for the frauditors, if he's still there, how about this one? I said it earlier. I've heard so many frauditors say this. They walk into a building, you got someone working behind the desk, and you can see their computer screen. And they say, well, the onus is on you to create privacy. If you don't want me to film your computer screen, then you should turn it off when I'm in here. So you support the idea that someone who's working, that my tax dollars, your tax dollars are paying them to do a job. If someone with a camera comes in, a frauditor, they have to stop doing their job and turn off their camera and just sit there. And I have to pay them to not work because the frauditor refuses to just not film their screen. The onus is on them to turn it off or to hide it. And this is another one where, again, it just goes to prove even more evidence that they're disingenuous douche canoes and they don't actually mean what they say and that they have no actual end game goal. If they do a return visit to a place that they said the onus is on you to create privacy, and that place does create privacy, if that's their end game goal is to make sure that you're the ones who are creating privacy and you'll let me film and you create your own privacy, then they should come in there and say, yes, we won. They created their own privacy. But that's not what happens. Every single time. What happens is, why are they hiding everything? What are they trying to hide from the public? What secrets, what terrible, horrible things are you doing back there that you don't want the public to know that you won't let me film it? I thought the onus was on me to create privacy. So I did, but now you have a problem with that. No matter what you do, you're going to lose. That's why there is no end game. That's why you know it's all a lie. Because if you do what they want you to do, then they should say, cool, you did it, thank you. But no, they complain about anything you do unless the one thing that you can do that they won't bitch about is, oh, I love your channel, I'm subscribed. I think you're great. That's the only thing you're allowed to do. In Frauditor world, that is the only thing you are allowed to do. If you do anything other than that, you are going to be punished by the frauditor. In other words, kiss the frauditor's butt, do what the frauditor says when he says it, or you will be punished. They're the real tyrants. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I walked away when that gentleman was up there. I can show you the footage if you do want to see it. I'm happy to show it to you.
Take a look.
On there, if that would help influence your decision before trying to enforce feelings.
They've already established that they want to push charges, and you can, whenever you go to court, you can sue them if you want. I don't know, whatever you want.
So wouldn't you have to see that infraction in order to enforce it? Wouldn't you have to give me the opportunity to leave?
No, because they've asked you to leave several times, and you came back several times.
I never said they asked me several times.
For them, right? You were inside the library. You mentioned
where I have a right to be.
Okay, well, again, you can't record.
So if they don't want me in there because I'm black or Mexican, and they have a policy that says you can't have religion or free speech.
There's nothing about race mentioned.
No, but this is my First Amendment right, our Constitution. I'm literally just working on a story peacefully. Okay. I'm not yelling at people. I'm not following people around.
Right.
I'm not going behind restricted areas.
So would you agree that when someone...
Again, their reaction is the story. I don't understand why these guys complain about people getting in the way of their story when them arguing their reaction to filming is the story. More proof that they're just liars and disingenuous butterbrain douche canoes. They got potato brains in their skulls because they're dumb.
Hey, even though it's your right, free public open space, not inside their building necessarily, but that if they say, hey, there's confidential information being said, or we don't.
This officer is wasting his breath because Anthony will flat out tell you, because he does in this video, no, he doesn't care about other people's feelings or their policies. It's all about how it affects him and his constitutional rights and his feelings. So this goes on for a way longer than it needs to. So we're going to jump ahead to where the sergeant shows up and tells Anthony to leave.
Do your due diligence.
You have multiple witnesses saying the same thing.
Yeah, all workers.
You don't want them inside the building. It doesn't matter if it's peaceful or not. If they don't want you in there, sir, they're asking that you leave.
So like I explained to him, if it's under threat of arrest, I will leave. But I'm just so you know, too, because I'm going to hold you guys accountable. I'm working on a First Amendment protected activity, freedom of press. That's the same thing as them kicking me out for saying because I have a religion they don't like, or I'm wearing a T-shirt they don't like, and freedom of expression. I wasn't bothering anyone. I wasn't following people around.
But essentially, if a business or I understand it's a public library, but if someone asks you to leave their property,
It's not their property though. It belongs to the people. They're not the custodianship. They don't have the custodianship.
into that whole argument about who owns it and all that.
Why don't you
stuff.
call this
Just
person
like-
who's in
just like they're
charge?
not- You don't need to. They're asking you.
So you're going to
leave.
enforce feelings.
Do they want to press charges? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. So yes, if you don't leave, you're gonna be arrested.
I will leave. I told him
Okay,
that. I'm
then-
just.
then- okay. Then the conversation.
But he said he's going to give me a ticket though. Can I just walk away and leave then?
We're going to end it here. Anthony continues to go on his diatribe of how they violated his rights and it was unconstitutional, and he has every right to be in there, even though it's a limited public forum. He also does not receive a ticket. He does get a trespass warning telling him he cannot go back to this library for 1 year. He does also continue on by stating that he's going to sue the librarian, the resource officer, and the cops who violated his rights. Also stating that he will have his minions call Flood, the librarian's chief branch manager here, and insist that they remove it, or he's going to sue her as well. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. And if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and a special thing to all members of the news team. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, I couldn't keep the channel going. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
All right. Round of applause for NCR News Network. Yes. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. You know I love it. It's awesome, man. I love it. When Butterbrain Douche Canoes get called out for their Butterbrain Douche Canoe isms. Oh man, it's so crazy. Anyway, I started kind of telling a story a little bit earlier about how just yesterday something happened to me. So I was talking to somebody that I know, and they were telling me a story about a video they saw online. And he's like, oh, yeah, man, I saw this really cool video the other day on YouTube. It was from this guy. I think he's called Long Island Audits or something. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then he told me what happened in the video. And he couldn't believe what the government and the police and all these horrible, evil, corrupt people were doing to this poor, sweet, innocent man. But I bring this up because we ended up having a very interesting discussion after he said that. But the reason I bring it up is because I was flabbergasted, not because he was saying what he was saying, but because I always look for, because believe it or not, I am open-minded. In fact, the whole reason I got into this whole thing at all in the first place was I owed $85 to the state to renew my license plate. I didn't have the $85. I panicked. So I started doing research online to see what my options are, what I can do. And I started falling down the soft sit rabbit hole. Now, it didn't take me long. It wasn't even more than maybe an hour before I realized that it was nonsense. But just from that first initial moment, I could see how someone who is desperate and doesn't understand the way things actually work could buy into this. And especially like with the false narratives that the frauditors tell. But what do I always say? I always feel like my reaction is to what's happening in the video versus their fans' reaction to the narrative, the false narrative being told by the auditor, the narration, the lies, right? The person I was talking to yesterday, when they were telling me, having no idea what any of this is, telling me about this video they saw from this guy called Long Island Audit, and he was explaining to me what happened in the video. Of course, I know. I'm listening to everything he was saying was essentially repeating Long Island Audit's narration. Repeating Long Island Audit's narrative. And I put it out, I'm like, dude, you're doing exactly what I always say. You're not describing the events that occurred in the video. You're describing the liar's false narrative version of the video, his description of the video. And that's always been my contention. Frauditor fans react to the lies. They react to the narration, the false narrative, while we react to what's actually happening in the video. So to us, to me, I'm reacting to the facts. What's the facts? Nobody did anything wrong. But what's the narration? These tyrants violated my rights. And what really drives me nuts is if something happens where somebody actually does violate someone's rights, like legitimately, it's like they're diluting it. There have been a couple times, not many, but there have been a couple times where I've seen frauditor videos where the people they were interacting with actually did cross the line. But when it's coming from a frauditor, it becomes like, well, did they really? I mean, this person just spent the last 5 years of his life posting videos where all he does all day is act like a jerk, try to get a negative reaction, and tell lies. So now this one time I'm supposed to believe him? Well, again, I go by what's happening in the video, not by what they're saying. And if I see that what's happening in the video actually is that the other person was wrong, then I'll say it. But again, and this is also very important, as I say this all the time, when I say frauditor, I'm talking about frauditors. When you say, oh, so you're saying that you don't believe that somebody could stand on the corner and film the cops? I never said anything even remotely similar to that. I don't have a problem with an auditor. In fact, auditors are a legitimate thing. There's an actual job where you could be an auditor. There are real auditors. That's why I say frauditors. I'm talking about frauditors. If you're not one of them, then I'm not talking about you. Go out there and keep doing what you're doing. I'm not worried about what you're doing. I'm worried about what the butterbrain douche canoes are doing. Because they're taking away, again, well, what do you care? Well, one, they're getting laws passed that do limit everyone's rights, including mine. When you're in there wasting times from the servants, your slaves. It's my tax dollars that pay them to do that work that you're making them stop doing when you come in there. I don't pay them to bend over and lick your butt so you can make YouTube dollars. I pay them to do their job. When you come in, you want them to stop doing their job and just be your slave and do whatever you say. The frauditors are going to be the boy that cries wolf. Exactly. They lie so much that when something actually does happen, you can't believe them because they lie so much. It's like that's what their language. J.C. Landry says, my husband's a police officer. Has he ever dealt with one of these douche canoes? Or is he, had legitimate cop watchers? I don't know. It'd be an interesting story. Let's see. So much going on. And it is bizarre the way that it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. I haven't seen Truth Science's most recent update from the Jamal Latimer trial, the Rise of the Moors trial. I'm trying to keep up with what's going on with that. But like I said, the audio in that courtroom is just atrocious. And because there's only one camera angle, sometimes you can't tell who's talking or it gets very, very muddy. So it's difficult to follow. It really is. But so far, I don't know. But yeah, I've been looking for updates on that. We'll see. And don't forget that DMA has his appeal today. Frauditor Troll's going to cover it live. We got to definitely find out what's going to happen with that. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens, especially if it comes up in court that he's been auditing this whole time, that he's still out there doing it. Yeah, I don't know. It might backfire and he might end up getting a harsher sentence. Who knows? Yeah, you know what? You're right. We are going to appeal it. We're going to add more time. You douche canoe. But other than that, I don't know. There isn't really any other breaking news that I could think of right now. Other than dummies are going to dumb, idiots are going to idiot. And like I always say, boom, boom, boom. The Butterbrain douche canoes. Boom, boom, boom. The Butterbrain douche canoes. Grab your camera and your pepper spray. Yes, it's time to spread some hate. Gonna try to piss off the cops. Boy, I hope they take the bait. The people who are standing around, their rights don't matter to me. As long as I can piss off the cops, y'all just wait and see. Yeah, doom, doom, doom. I'm a Butterbrain douche canoe. Boom, boom, boom. I'm a Butterbrain douche canoe. Got my camera turned on. Potato brain douche canoe. Hey, I'm going to audit you, Butterbrain douche canoe. Yeah, dude. That's when I'm at the police substation to pick up my police report. I asked the officer about frauditors, and all he did was roll his eyes and say, what a bunch of pests. Exactly. See, that's the thing. And that's another thing that goes back to them being disingenuous and spreading lies and building false narratives, right? Like you walk in the building and you're looking for all this trouble and you're talking back to everyone and giving everyone a hard time. And then they say, well, you shouldn't be filming. And then they'll turn around and they'll say, oh, well, man, you guys are annoying. The First Amendment is annoying? I didn't say the First Amendment is annoying. I said you, idiot, are annoying. And that's the thing. The basic breakdown of what's the matter? You're afraid of a camera? It's never the camera. I can't believe these people are freaking out because there's a camera. It's never the camera. It's always the idiot holding it. That's the problem. The actions of the douche canoe holding the camera. That's the problem. And you know what I do when I get mad at frauditors? I torture the voodoo doll. And again, like I said, guys, I'm bringing the tasings back. So let's go ahead and have one just to remind everybody how awesome it is. Again, unfortunately, I don't have my voice changer back yet. Eventually, I will get it back. So his voice is just going to be me. But it'll have to do for now. Let's chase him just because these frauditors asked for it. No, don't do it. It does sound right. No, don't do it. Oh, man. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Always great to see you here every morning. Oh, man, I love you guys. You're the best fans in the world. And like I always say at the end of every show, now, once I get back to Florida and I get my regular props back, one of the ones I'm going to pick up that I have on there is my Elvis gnome. Because you always know the show's over when I hold up the Elvis gnome. But I don't have him with me here, but I do still have his picture. So I always been ending the show with me saying, oh, yeah. I'm all shook up.
I told my boss that 3 companies were after me and I needed a raise. Which companies are after you? He said. I said, gas, electric, cable. I told my boss that 3 companies were after me and I needed a raise. Which companies are after you? He said. I said, gas, electric,